Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Online's favorite Raiders podcast, favorite Raiders channel, favorite Raiders everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at Glenn Rockney for Glenn, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com discount code TDL for 25% off. You make sure, like I said, we got the s'mores one. This one's really good, guys. If you want to support the channel, you know what I'm saying? Get you this one. This is some protein, really good tasting protein that I really like. All right, guys. So, also, I forget the other ones. Homage. You got Homage here. Homage with go get yourselves a Maxx Crosby shirt, all that good stuff. Get 50% off at Homage using that QR code right there. And also make sure you always hit up the TDL store. Boom. No, I got a lot of giveaways to do with this, but also support the channel anyway. Just go get you a shirt, but I'm gonna get you guys your giveaways too as well. So make sure you get that. All right. We're here. Klint Kubiak has an agreement with the Raiders to become the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. The Raiders landed their guy here. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, it took a while, but it feels like they got the number one guy that they've been looking for the last, basically since the season ended. Like, I got a little bit nervous there when there's some rumors about him maybe going back to Seattle, but I think at the end of the day, and obviously because it took so long and being one of the two last openings, but like you said, they got their guy. They got the guy that I think everyone's been saying for weeks is the perfect coach for Fernando Mendoza, the perfect system for him to come play in. So it feels like for the first time in a while that the stars are finally aligning for the Raiders between end of the season, getting the number one overall pick, and then again getting probably the top offensive candidate on the market this past cycle. So I feel like we haven't been able to say that about the Raiders in a while, and yeah, I mean, it's an exciting start to the future is what I'll say for the most part, is that get the guy that you've been looking for and pair him with a quarterback that I think is a perfect fit for a system, and feeling pretty happy. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, it's great. I'm always the guy, like, until I see that press conference, I don't know, after I know Josh McDaniels did that to the Colts once, so it's like in my head forever. Yeah. I've never seen more confident, like, national beat writers in my life talking about how he's the next head coach. Like, everybody's saying this. Jeremy Fowler just puts out that the Raiders have notified all other candidates that it's over. Like, there will be no future, contact, and they kind of confirmed Evero was their second guy, but it's a distant second. What I like about this is that they put all their eggs in one basket, and I was nervous about this. However, if it works, it doesn't matter. Like, this is just it. Like, they did it, and shout out Pete Carroll. I'm just gonna say that right now. Like, he got the job done out here, because look, he got us the right Seahawks coach. For this, because we lost the exact. I mean, like I said, the Giants, it took another team losing, honestly, for this to happen. And I say that because even if Mendoza is not the guy, which I think he is, but even if he's just even if a couple of years from now we're searching for that next guy, Mendoza, just the fact that he's coming to the Raiders, that's the reason Klint Kubiak even looks here. I know he has ties to Spy Tech. I know he has all that stuff, but I'm sorry. Like, you come here because you have the opportunity to coach this quarterback, and like, it's different than other years too, because for the longest time, like, the Raiders have always had $100 million to spend in free agency. Ever since Reggie McKenzie cleaned the cap up like 13 years ago or whatever, they've always had $100 million to spend in free agency, but they've never had the core important things filled to spend that 100 on. So right now they have a quarterback that I think all of Raider Nation should be really excited about right now, and he'll be on a cheap deal, and they're going to have a coach who's 38 years old, and they have a chance for those guys to be together for 10 years. I'm ecstatic about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you nailed it too. Like, I think if they end up picking second overall, especially after Dante Moore went back to school, I don't think Kubiak's interested in the job. I don't think he takes it. I think he stays in Seattle. Maybe goes to Arizona. So, it's kind of like you said, man. It feels like everything's finally starting to fall into place. And yeah, I guess thank you, Pete. He told the Seahawks to hire Kubiak so that the Raiders could hire him to be his replacement a year later.
It was all a long game. We all thought it was Pete Carroll was going to be a guy to save us. Well, he was maybe different way.
Yeah, I'm excited too. I think somebody wanted me to stunt on here. Yeah, I mean, I did hear from my sources,
You did.
guy from the beginning, right? So so
Yeah.
that was the thing. I mean, we were kind of talking about this first. Are they going to wait for him? They were going to wait, and they did it. I think Jesse Minter he came in there and he must have. I don't know what Jesse Minter said, but he must have been impressive.
He's a good coach. He's a good coach,
right? And he's a great coach. So once Minter was out the window, they were doing Kubiak the whole time. They're kind of just messing with us, with the bringing guys in, Joe Brady's. They like literally brought in everybody. I guess they wanted a wide net just in case they didn't get Kubiak. They had an answer like Ivero might have been the coach, right? If they didn't get him, who could have been? It could have been LaFleur. I don't know if they interviewed LaFleur.
They didn't do a second interview with any of the Rams guys.
Yeah, I mean that might have started happening. You know what I mean? So. They got their guy though, and it's exciting that I really like this fit for Mendoza, man. I think this is perfect. He is a Mendoza guy. Like I said, I don't want to compare Mendoza to Jake Plummer, but this is that type of athlete. He's that type of guy that can move. Mm-hmm. You can see what they did with these type of athletes in this at the quarterback, and even with like Matt Schaub's and things like that. It's the same system. It is basically quarterback proof. Right. I mean, there's evidence of this. I mean, Kirk Cousins threw 33 touchdowns in it. He had over 100 rating. Derek Carr had over 100 rating. Right. And he was balling. Everybody thought they were the best offense ever. He was throwing all these crazy touchdowns and for a little bit. And then, the kind of, he got hurt and everything kind of spiraled from there. But he still had some good numbers he put up, a high YPAs. They all have YPAs over 7.5. Every quarterback that Kubiak's worked with has played well. So we got a guy that's going to maximize what Mendoza does. He's going to build around Mendoza, and we're going to put that perfect offense for it. So I'm just excited. I'm excited to watch a bootleg. I'm really excited to see that first wide zone bootleg play action. Hit Brock Bowers right there. From 15 yards. I'm excited for that.
The first two plays of like his tenure have to be like a wide zone and then a play action off of it, right? Like that's got to be like the first two plays of the regular season for the Raiders this year. But I think like part of what you're saying, Marcus, too, that like makes me like feel more confident about this is like it didn't feel like last year like where they put all the eggs in the Ben Johnson basket and then Johnson takes the Bears job the moment he could and they're sitting there like, all right, well, what the F do we do now? Like they had the backup plans, they did the research, they interviewed I think probably like 15 guys, which I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's a lot for a typical head coach search, or at least it's been more than what the Raiders done in the past. So that's what makes me feel like even more confident about it. It's like did all this, they did the research, they interviewed the McVay tree, they got somebody like Joe Brady in there, like that could also be in there, and talked to defensive guys like Evero and even like Vance Joseph, and they just narrowed in on who their candidate was. So that's what makes me feel like even more confident. It's like it feels like for the first time in a while, like this organization is actually doing their thorough research and like they had a backup plan in case Kubiak screwed up or that plan fall apart, and now they're moving forward with their top guy. So it's kind of funny. They have all these backup plans for the one time they actually have like a solid backup plans and they didn't need it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is true. It's like they did put all their eggs in one basket, but it's kind of like they also took their time. I mean, they had time because you have to wait, right? I think if Seattle loses to the Niners, he's the coach right now. He's already been the coach. He's already had his press conference probably by this point. But since they had that time, they didn't just sit on their hands the whole time, right? They didn't just go, well, we'll wait for Clint. No, you bring in this. You see how the league looks. I mean, even if you bring in these guys, these guys are going to get jobs somewhere. You might figure out some intel on if you have to play them later. I mean, there's no need to waste all of this time. But I just have to say too, like it's our minds go right to Mendoza and Kubiak, and rightfully so. But the stuff that's already on this roster, I mean, like Brock Bowers, like look what he does with AJ Barner. I mean, you know what I mean? Look what he does with. I mean, those are good. I think he's a good player, but like he's gonna have Bowers. You're gonna be able to do lots of stuff. You're gonna be able to do stuff that the Niners do with Kittle. They're gonna be able to get him open from multiple spots in the field. And Michael Mayer. I think if Michael Mayer can stay healthy, I mean, we'll see. But Michael, both of these guys. I know we've been saying, well, watch out for these two guys together, but I actually think there's reason to think that. And Genty, right? Like people are right now, the only reason anybody's really questioning the Genty pick beyond some like super analytics nerds people is kind of just because they had a bad situation for him, which he still ends up with 1,300 yards, is durable, plays the whole season and everything. I mean, I think he's going to eat with Kubiak. Like I like right now, like Kenneth Walker's like kind of an odd run. He's very good, but he's like kind of an odd runner. Like you're just like, I don't even know how I would scheme for Kenneth Walker. Like he's just kind of like does his own thing a lot. But like with Genty, you could get him. I mean, you could get Genty 1,500 rushing yards next year. Like you could with what they do. And he looked like he was pretty versatile scheme wise last year, I thought. Even though we kind of questioned how is he this, is he that? So I'm just really excited to not light these picks on fire. You know what I mean? Like even though they're good players, but they might just be going, hey, let me go get my next deal elsewhere. No, I think they have a great spot for these guys right now.
I mean, yeah, you touched on it, Glenn. Like that's one of the things. Like I tweeted this out. Obviously, Fernando Mendoza is going to be like the biggest storyline. Fernando Mendoza and Klint Kubiak and how they work together. That's going to be the biggest storyline moving forward.
Yeah.
But like how they use the 12 personnel and even some 22 personnel packages with Mayer and Bowers is going to be really interesting to me. I mean, I think with Mayer, I think you can probably put him in like an H-back type of role where like you can put him at that fullback spot and you can kind of stay in 12 personnel even when you have like a technical fullback on the field.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they can do. And then on top of it with Genty, I mean, this system has been known for being like Marcus talks about it being quarterback proof. It's also running back proof.
Yeah.
Like they were like known for years to just churn out 1,000-yard rushers going back to the Terrell Davis like Broncos days when Terrell Davis was an undrafted dude out of Georgia. So I'm really excited to see what Genty has because I think if you look back at what Genty's rookie season was, it was headlined by a bad scheme. That's fixed. And then a bad offensive line. Still got to fix the offensive line, obviously. Right. But like we're talking about before, that's where all the money in free agency, having the 10 draft picks and whatnot can really help. So it's the arrow is pointing up, I think right now. I'm excited to see what happens with Kubiak. I think they got the right people in place, or they're at least starting to too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when it comes to running, I mean, Dalvin Cook did average 4.7 yards per carry with him. Right. And the running game this year was, had some issues at times just because I think Kenneth Walker is not as efficient as you want him to be, but he still got him over 1,000 yards, 4.6. So there's been a consistent look of him getting a lot out of the rushing game, even if it's not the most efficient in the world. Yeah. I think people look at his EPA. I mean, that's what we do these days, right? You got to talk EPA, and the EPA won't be very good, but they had 1,000 yards from Kenneth Walker, and they had 700 from Charbonnet, right? So that's from two running backs, right? And that kind of shows where his philosophy is a little bit too, is just running the ball. I mean, the attempts are going to be, that's why it's perfect for Mendoza kind of to get into it. And then, if he gets into more high-level passing, we're probably going to see some of that. But, I mean, we're going to see the balance of that play action and running game mixed together. I think it's going to be good for him for a rookie for sure.
And touching on the success like the Seattle's had in the running game. I mean, they have the two tackles who are good. Abraham Lucas just struggles staying healthy, and Charles Cross is pretty damn good. But like Gray Zabel was a rookie this past year. Like Seattle's interior line is not very promising. So that should be a little bit more encouraging if you're a Raider fan too. Like it's not like Seattle had a bunch of studs, a bunch of Pro Bowlers on that offensive line, this season. So will be interesting to see. I'm excited about it, man.
Yeah, the Raiders are young on offensive line. They're young on offensive line. People say they didn't address it last year. They did. The guys just didn't play. I mean, they did. They spent 2 top 100 picks on offensive line. Like, what if you? So is it Benton is the O-line coach for Seattle right now?
Yeah. Okay. So Benton is the O-line coach. And somebody asked a question, so I'll get into that.
Because I'm wondering, you to bring him over, do you have to make him like OC if you're trying to bring him over? How does that work?
You could probably
go ahead.
You could do that, or you can make him like the run game coordinator.
Yeah, so like another added.
Add that, or like add like assistant head coach to his title.
Assistant to the regional manager,
basically,
He's like one of the like an extra thing that you can like a resume. But that's right, because I know the Falcons did that to avoid the draft picks for the Rooney Rule thing with Matt Ryan, where they gave Matt Ryan kind of like a fake job, not a fake job, but like a job title to where that blocked an actual promotion for somebody. The Ian Cunningham one. So I was kind of thinking like to get him over. I think he's gonna want. I want as much of the staff brought over from there as possible, defensively speaking too. I mean, I just bring them over. I mean, they're doing something right over there. That team really, they were like, I would never say they were terrible the last couple of years, but they were nowhere near as good as they are right now. And I think if you have the opportunity to go bring that O-line coach in here, do it, because this is a young Raiders offensive line. I think they can be helped out by this scheme, but also these guys can develop too. Like they're not finished products, and they do need to add some veterans and maybe some guys day 2, day 3 picks in the draft to add some competition there. But I mean, I think they can fix that pretty quick. At least get it back to average.
Yeah. So this kind of goes into this question: who do you think Kubiak brings in as QB coach and OC? So I brought up this article. I kind of brought it up on Friday, but basically, when he went to Seattle, he brought in several assistant coaches familiar with him from previous stops: offensive line coach John Benton, quarterback coach Andrew Janoko, and offensive assistant Michael Byrne spent the 2024 season with Kubiak in New Orleans. Run game coordinator Rick Dennison and run game specialist Justin Oten also have history with Kubiak. So basically, those guys probably going to be our staff. Let's keep it real. I mean, if they followed him from the Saints to Seattle, right, at the same position, ain't like these guys change positions. Like, this is my quarterback coach.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's
probably part of his pitch in the
I would think so. Think so. Yeah. And that's why and you tend to think like Seattle probably wants him as a play caller, but Seattle's probably thinking like, I'm losing my whole staff too if he goes. Like it's definitely about him, but also like I gotta on both sides of the ball. That's that it's kind of my thing against hiring defensive minded coaches when you're trying to have a rookie quarterback. Even with Jesse Minter, guys like that, I'm sure they're great, but it's just you might be the Lions, where it's not always, even though you're a good team and a well-run team, like you still have to get both coordinator hires right if you're constantly competing all the time. Yeah. And so our offense is constant right now. Like, look how many coaches Sean McVay's lost. He literally just lost another one right now, and he's probably going to lose Shieldhouse to that job, or if they don't bump him
in
up
the next year or two.
Or if they don't bump him up, he might follow LaFleur out there. You have no idea, but he might lose these guys. He loses these guys every single year, but they can kind of weather the storm because, one, they have a good GM that does whatever Sean McVay wants and gets the players that he wants, and they have the coach that remains constant. And I mean, people have their opinions about Spytech, but I think Kubiak's a better vehicle for Spytech's draft than Pete Carroll was. I mean, it's not a very controversial statement, but it feels like it's a little easier for Spytech to pick the players with a very innovative, forward-thinking coach like Kubiak.
And it's with the coach he picked, right? Like, I think like we'd all feel a lot better. And I think we feel a lot better about Spytech if Charles Grant and Caleb Rogers, all those dudes that they picked last year, like were on the field, and like we could see them develop. Where that was, I think, part of the negative part of Spytech, where some of the negativity about surrounding Spytech stem from is like we didn't get to see what his draft class really looks like. And I know the free agency is bad, but like how many GMs come in and like keep a bunch of in-house free agents in their first year? That just doesn't happen very often. No. Usually it's going to be a guy that's going to come in and want to draft and develop and bring in their own guys. So yeah, I'm interested to see, like you said, what Spytech can do with the coach that he now is very clearly in a line with, because there is no more excuses if you're John Spytech. Like, you got to start getting these guys on the field and getting picks that hit at this point. Yeah,
exactly. Because like again, you have to you have to know that what you're picking is going to see the field, like you said. Like, at least let me see that it's bad, right? Like, and we're just supposed to believe that these guys were bad in practice, but
for sure,
coaching staff sucked. So I mean, like, Chip Kelly's fired midway through the season. No disrespect to Greg Olson, but we don't. He did what he always does. Kind of comes in and makes it slightly okay, and then otherwise, I want to see some. I mean, I want to see somebody make this last draft class. I want to see them, and I want to see them brought to their full potential, whatever that potential is. And then also, man, go get some people now. You have that lottery ticket now with Mendoza's contract. Go get some people. Go get Rashid Shaheed. He's been with Kubiak the last couple of years. They go trade for him this year. Go get him. Go see if you can make sure that that's not a problem. Go sign some linemen and go attack the defense in the draft. And just do that. And they could at least be an average team. I don't know what everybody. I don't know if any of us are saying they're going to win a bunch of games next year, but I think we're just going to see that the arrow move up trajectory wise. And it's going to just be more palatable and fun. I think your guys' film breakdowns might be fun, and it might be less crying from me on Friday Night Live.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I'm already excited about the film breakdowns because it was painful at the end of last year.
I bet. I bet.
right, Seahawks are one of the teams with a true fullback in the NFL. Could the Raiders bring back a player like Alec Ingold, who ran a similar offense in Miami? I don't know if they'll bring it. I don't think. I hope they don't go big on fullback. Just bring in some big fat dude that catches 4 passes.
I mean, yeah, you can probably get like an undrafted free agent to play fullback. That's what Alec Ingold was,
Right.
Yeah.
But that's where I think too. That's kind of where I was going at. Like, I think they're gonna bring in someone before training camp for sure. Who how high profile of a fullback is remains to be seen. But I wouldn't also be surprised if they try like Mayer in that type of role and use him as like that hybrid type of player, kind of like what you see from Kyle Juszczyk in San Francisco. So
JJ Pegues.
JJ Pegues, there we go. We got the 300-yard, the 300-pound package.
We didn't get one carry. We didn't get one carry this year.
I want to see him on the juice motion, like he's running that motion like juice that's moving around. I don't know.
Yeah.
What's the chances Klint has watched Mendoza at all, assuming he'd have to take this role?
He probably
Well,
watched.
I mean, Marcus, you were saying the other day, it probably just rolled. In the second interview, they just rolled Mendoza tape in the interview. This is what you can get. You can't get this in Arizona.
Look
at this great bootleg.
Maybe they just FaceTime Mendoza. They were just like, "Hey, do you want to sit in on this meeting?" I bet you these guys watched the games. Like he probably watched literally the live ESPN game and was like, "Hey, that guy's good." Like I'm sure he's done that. But it's you don't take this job if you're not like ecstatic about coaching Fernando Mendoza. Like last year the Raiders were the Cardinals in the coaching search. They were, even if they conducted a good search, did anything they would do, Ben Johnson wasn't going to say yes because Caleb Williams was not on their roster. That caliber of a player with that potential, and that just wasn't there. The Cardinals could have had the perfect pitch of all time, but it's at the end of the day, I have a bad quarterback contract, Call of Duty playing guy, and then really they have some weapons. Don't get me wrong, but there's just no pathway to that unless you're like, can you get me Ty Simpson or something? It's just not the same pitch. So the Raiders just had the ammo this year to go get Klint Kubiak. That's similar. That's just really why it happened.
Just so everybody knows, I'm getting to your questions because some dude asked like the same question 4 times. Ready to get there. We're going through the questions right now, so just so you guys are aware. Did you want to say anything about that, Matt, before I move on?
The team conducted a competent coaching search and land a top target. So we were talking about before. They interviewed probably 15 different people, and even as recently as this week, they were casting a wide net, still trying to be interviewing people. So I feel like it's a competent search, and on top of it, they still landed their number one guy, number one at worst, number 2. If Inter was really number 1, but who knows?
Yeah, he said he technically could go back out, right? I mean, that would just make him an asshole.
Technically could, yeah. He could, but then he'd be waiting even longer to be another head coach.
That's true. That's a good point. Because you have that, and then also, man, I tell you, nobody would be, and not to say this is the end of the world for you as a coach, but like Adam Schefter, Pelissero, these guys would hate you. They would never say anything positive about you ever because you made them look stupid. Because they have like really said this is happening. Like I'm the ultimate skeptic on that stuff. If you leave, I'm like Murphy's Law with the Raiders all the time. Yeah. Like if there's any room for something bad to happen, it happens, and he's taking it. I mean, again, at the end of the day, if the Raiders didn't have if there wasn't like a sure top pick at quarterback, if there wasn't that, I would be like, I'm still a little nervous. But he's taking this job to work with John Spytek and coach Fernando Mendoza, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, and he's going to get paid a lot of money because that's one thing Mark Davis will do is he'll pay a damn coach. He's paying a bunch of them.
And to ease concerns a little bit, like when McDaniels did that, like his agent, who was like Bob Lamont, was one of the top like coach agents, his agent cut ties with them. And then McDaniels didn't get another like head coach interview until Mark Davis was dumb enough to hire him and bring him in. So it is kind of career suicide if you want to be a head coach.
Yeah, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, because you're doing it to the guy who was dumb enough to bring in Josh McDaniels,
exactly,
and he's like, "Well, you burned me once." Yeah. So that's true. Good point.
Yeah. Who's going to be the DC? I know there's a lot of questions about this. Would Jim Schwartz as DC be at all realistic?
You guys don't like him, huh?
Leslie Frazier as DC. I mean,
I haven't heard that name in years. What's he
doing? What is Leslie Frazier up to these days?
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. Let's bring in Don Capers.
Any insight on possible DC Aiden Durde? Right?
Where's he from?
I think he's from Seattle. That's one of my like, I guess one of my small concerns with Kubiak is he's been in 5 different spots in the last 5 years, so I don't really know how strong of a network he has.
All right.
As far as like assembling, especially defensive staff, like how many guys are gonna like be signed up to go work for him to go work for the Raiders who have a history of cutting ties with head coaches quickly. So that might be one of the biggest hurdles he's gonna have to overcome. But yeah, the one guy I have my eye on is he did spend some time in San Francisco. I can't say the name right, but it's like Chris Kirchek or something like that. The D-line coach that I know is like really highly regarded. Got the most out of Cleveland Farrell, so be an interesting one.
It's a good selling point. Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, Carlson, that's a guy a lot of people are really excited about. He's their DB coach and pass game coordinator in Seattle right now. Now, again, Kubiak's been there 1 year. You don't know if these guys are like good friends or not, but it sounds like this guy. I mean, if you look at where Carl Scott's come from, I mean, he's just really gone like up everywhere. He's just like constantly been just moving up. He's started at Delta State in 2007 as a GA, and then there's literally colleges I haven't heard of, and then all of a sudden you're at Texas Tech, Alabama, Minnesota Vikings defensive backs coach. Then, which was Kubiak there in 2021?
No.
In
Vikings, the Minnesota, yes, Minnesota.
So they've coached at 2 places together. Okay, so now we have a couple connections there. So maybe they do know each other. And now he's the Seattle Seahawks DB's coach and pass game coordinator. So that's somebody I look at right now. He's young too. I think he's barely 40 right now. I mean, that's somebody I look at. I wanted Raheem Morris. He's at San Francisco right now. I think it's a pretty damn good hire for them. But then I see somebody was asking about Jim Leonard. He went to the Bills. So
Leonard's gone. Morris is gone. Yeah, but I like Carl Scott because his profile picture on Twitter looks like a 90s rap album.
Cool. Does it really?
Yeah, he looks like he's about to do some hardcore rap bars to us with also some smooth songs on some of the B-list songs.
That's cool. We like that.
I like that look.
Yeah, man, we need it. I'm saying, like, the DC hire is huge, though. The DC hire is huge. There's no doubt about it. Now, I have a quick question for you guys. What happens to Maxx Crosby? I don't know that this means he's staying.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the big question. No matter who they hired.
Yeah, but if it
depends on how much is he.
If it was a defensive coach, he'd stay. I bet. That's my thing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like he's kind of hit his point where he's like and we're doing this shit again. But I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I honestly, you know how I always feel. I think they'll shop him at the combine, and then they won't get what they want to get, and then they'll, and then we'll kind of just act like it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're gonna shop him, and I kind of think they should. Like, it's just, to me, it's your head coach is 38. Your quarterback's going to be in year 1. You have a chance to. I mean, he's coming out. He hasn't finished the last 2 seasons, right? Or it's.
I say the long. Yeah.
Is it going to get healthier? Is he going to be healthier and more explosive? I don't know. I mean, like, I think a team like. I'm just trying to think. There's some I would preferably do an NFC team, so I really wouldn't want to play against them like that. But an NFC team that's offering me like the Lions or something like that. Like Lions pick right in the middle of the first round. I kind of like that if that's the case. I know that's been the rumor for like years that they're going to trade him there, but there's no disrespect to Maxx. I like Maxx, but I think at this point, like, you got to find a way to maybe just start over at that position a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, they need an edge anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. And we've seen Myles Garrett had a season of his life, of like probably one of the best seasons I've ever seen a guy in my life, and they suck. So it's like when you have and they have a good defense. Period. Like, it's not even like they have just one player; they suck. So you're kind of like, okay, it's nice to reward your players for staying through all this tough times. And maybe he has this 3 years from now when the Raiders are competing or something, really competing. Maybe he's like Dwight Freeney, or like just playing a smaller role out there. But I don't know, man. I think I sell high.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think they shop him, but I don't think it's going to happen, though. I really don't. I don't think it's going to happen. I'm not going to worry about that. It's just something we're going to hear about, but I don't think it's going to happen. This guy asked this question like 3 times, so I should answer it here. How does AFC West view the Kubiak sighting?
We'll find out. Yeah, we'll
see.
If we get a DC from McDonald's staff, do we target their free agent players like Mafe, Bryant, Woolen, Raider
I'd be
legend.
down for Kobe Bryant because they could really use a free safety, and he's been like really freaking good in that role the last 3 seasons. So Kobe Bryant's kind of the guy I'd look after, and Boye Mafe would be. I mean, especially if they do end up moving on from Max, like that's a good veteran to go get and go spend some money on.
Ooh, yeah. I'll bring back Drake Thomas.
I'd love to too. He's probably a restricted free agent though, so
he's
probably restricted.
Yeah.
What makes Kubiak's scheme quarterback proof? It's the play action and the running game mixture, and then just there's a completion everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you watch Sam Darnold, I mean, there's some play I saw Sam Darnold that he actually ended up throwing a completion, but there's completions everywhere. But he kind of just chose the wrong place to go. So I think that's kind of the how I look at it, and it's just throughout history, man. Throughout history, I mean, Jake Plummer looked like he couldn't not go a game without throwing 3 interceptions. He went to the damn AFC Championship game. You know what I mean? Went out there and beat that Tom Brady team. He stopped that run of theirs. So. And that was with Jake Plummer. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we got Mendoza, who's way better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also a heavy dose of play action and usually a good run system, which quarterback's best friend, especially a young one.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I think it's I think also just it's a proven system too. Like it's one of the few systems that's worked for like a long time that nobody's still nobody's stopping. Like it's not a okay, that's done. It's not like air raid. It's not like these things where they come and go. It's like, no, this
Chip Kelly.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just one of these things. Like, no, it's everybody's running this. The best coaches in the league are running this more or less. I will say, I think it's going to be really funny if the Seattle lays an egg in the Super Bowl and Raider fans start going, "Did we hire the wrong guy?" I just say, but it won't be me because I don't care at this point. But I want them to win because I don't like the Patriots, and it's just funny.
Yeah. I kind of discussed the question twice. What do you see in Darnold's game that Kubiak would try to replicate with Mendoza, and how does Mendoza compare to Darnold?
I mean, that's been a popular comp for Mendoza. I think part of it is Darnold's kind of smart and has a decent arm but not great arm kind of deal. So, and same thing with his athleticism. He's a good athlete, not a great one. So I think there's a lot of similarities there. But I think a big part of it is just being smart and knowing where to go with the ball. And then they have similar type of arm talent. I don't know about what do you think, Marcus?
I mean, yeah, I think Darnold has a little bit of stronger arm, but it's the athleticism is similar. So that's where you see these guys are kind of perfect for this system. And that's why they can run it. You have to have some athleticism, right? I mean, you have to be able to do his bootlegs. Remember when Peyton Manning was put in the system, when he was falling apart, but when he was put into it, the whole concern was that he can't move. So how is he gonna do a bootleg? There's that concern. So that's why he's a fit. I mean, he's 6'5", 225 guy who can move, a good arm, and makes good reads. I mean, this is everything these West Coast quarterbacks want. This is what he's the type of guy they want. So that's why I really like this for sure. Yeah. All right. Next one. Do we just get Shanahan Jr.? I mean, technically, because they are the same kind of.
We got Kubiak Jr. We got Kubiak Jr. He was a pretty damn good coach himself. Gary Kubiak was a good coach, man. People and he was a Shanahan disciple. He was Elway's backup under Shanahan, if I'm not mistaken. And then those Texans teams, I mean, they didn't win it. They didn't win at all. But you had Arian Foster, who was an undrafted free agent, just looking incredible, looking like Eric Dickerson for a couple of years, and then Kubiak goes and wins with the Broncos when John Fox couldn't. I mean, his dad was a good coach too. So it's. I know we're probably tired of hearing about nepotism for the Raiders because it really backfired on us. But Klint Kubiak doesn't have kids old enough to coach in the league yet, so I think we're good.
and that's good nepotism, man. I mean, so
I like NFL nepotism. It just sometimes just make sure you get it right. Just make sure you get it right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh, you okay. Will Kubiak start Mendoza? Or do you think he can do something with Aiden for the time being?
Personally, I have zero problem with Aiden O'Connell being the week 1 starter.
Yeah.
Especially if we're gonna especially if we're talking about an offensive line that's shaky, as fucked up as it sounds, hey, sometimes it takes a few weeks for that offensive line to gel and kind of get together. let Aiden O'Connell be the sacrificial lamb, take those hits before you let your number one pick, or before you just throw your number one pick out into the wolves. Like, you know what I mean? So I like, just because they take Fernando Mendoza number one overall, and I'm sure all the fans are going to want to see immediate returns.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's not rush things too fast at the end of the day. Like, I think, like everyone said, like, this is not like the Raiders are not necessarily looking at a 1 year turnaround. This is a big picture type of move. So what's the rush of throwing him out on the field, especially if you're not 100% sold on supporting cast? So yeah, I have no problem with Aiden O'Connell beginning the year as the starting quarterback and kind of just letting him take the lumps and bruises that the rest of the team figures it all out, and then maybe having Mendoza take over, mid-season or a month into the year or something like that. So
yeah.
Do you see the offense as a fit for O'Connell?
I mean,
I guess
really.
It kind of could be.
I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure.
Not really. I mean, Okada on a bootleg. I'll tell you, because there is still the whole bootleg system is there. I know when I pull it up, that's the whole thing. The wide zone, we run right zone, and then we do a play action bootleg the opposite side. I mean, that's what they do. They set it up really well, and I don't know, Okada on bootlegs. Just
plus that, and I just realized the intermediate throws are big in this offense. Which has never been O'Connell's strength.
Yeah. The crazy part would be if they keep Geno, which that is a possibility. If they let Geno go get his ass kicked again to start the season.
I mean, Seattle trades him away when they hire Kubiak. You wonder, did Kubiak say something? When I don't know what the timeline was on that, but what I mean is Kubiak's in, Geno's out. Does that I don't know. I don't want to spend on like a backup quarterback. I don't really want to go out there and go get like a. Yeah, I like Marcus Mariota, and I'm not saying I would hate that, but like you got to pay those guys like 10 mil or something like that, close to 10 mil now, like for that. And I don't know that you have to do that because you are probably going to play Mendoza year one, just maybe not week one. That's why I would just have O'Connell in there and just see what happens. I mean, and look, maybe Mendoza just comes out and their offensive line looks good and they're running the football, and maybe you just have that year where he comes out. There's no one way to do it, and I trust him. I do feel like a sense of trust with if they bring like a guy like Kubiak in there where I'm like, look, he's gonna get it right. Whereas it was quite clear right away the last coaching staff were just like, you guys have no clue what you're doing.
Yeah. Exactly. Crazy idea, but what do you guys think if they invested into Kyle Pitts so they can permanently be in 13, 12, or 22? That's just too much investment. Get a wide receiver, please. Yeah. That's what I would say. That
Shaheed, or you could. I would try to see if I could get like Michael Wilson from the Cardinals, something like that. Just big body guy. I don't know what you have to give up for a guy like that. But somebody brought up Winston. Did Kubiak coach Winston? That's interesting.
No, he did. I don't think so.
No, he would have been with the Saints.
That's he did. He did with the Saints.
Yeah, when he was with the Saints.
Ooh, okay. Give me a year of Jameis. I'm down, dude. Yeah,
give me another 30-30 year from Jameis.
No, just like 4 weeks of Jameis. Kind of just how he played. He was kind of fun this year playing like for the Giants. I was like, interesting.
He is a high level backup quarterback at this point. Let's just keep it real.
Yeah. I start thinking about it, to be honest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You guys think this is a spy tech hire? Seems like it to me.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
given the connection and
from the way back,
he was in on the. I mean, like we said if you guys tuned into the show for the Senior Bowl, the entire Raiders scouting staff was there, but spy tech because he's very clearly entrenched in the head coach search. So yeah, this was spy tech's guy, and that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. No more excuses for him. He's got his choice at head coach.
Yeah, it's a damn good choice. I'll tell you that. I saw some paid questions here.
Like those.
What do each of you guess Kubiak will get paid in how many years? I don't know.
If I could do a beep noise, I'd be backing up the Brinks truck right now because the Raider, no matter who they hired, if they wanted to get a top candidate, again, with the fact that the last 3 head coaches didn't make it 2 full seasons, they were going to have to pay anyone to lure him. So he's probably going to be, we'll probably find out later, Klint Kubiak's like the highest paid coach in the NFL. It's going to be something stupid and ridiculous, which is what they needed to do.
Yeah. You got to pay the Raider tax, unfortunately, right now. I'll say 6 years, 85 million.
6 years, 85. Okay, that's what you're going.
That's what I'll say right
Okay.
now.
Yeah. I'm gonna think. I think they go 5. I think they go 5 years. I don't know how much though. I mean, they don't gotta tell us that. I guess.
They might. The only time that I saw the details come out was John Gruden's 10-year, $100 million deal.
They had to tell us that.
That was crazy.
That's nuts.
That was just nuts, even for the time, and it's nuts now. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Would you take a risk to get AJ Brown?
I'm not a real fan of having a young locker room and then bringing in a guy that was in a very stable situation and would just still found a way to be a diva. So
right.
I think I might pass, but I do get it from like the talent standpoint. Yeah,
it is intriguing. It is a little bit because like you do the Raiders need that type of receiver, but they don't need that type of attitude in their locker room at all. Like, that's hard. The last thing they need. We don't need a guy freezing his feet off before coming to camp because it's just. I mean, the name is almost Antonio Brown. Yeah. Like it's like AJ Brown. Like we're almost there. Like it's just like I would.
What does the A stand for in it? AJ.
I don't even want to know right now. Yeah. If it's Antonio, I'll be mad.
I don't know. I still kind of like my wide receiver philosophy, obviously, of just let this year play out, see what you have in Jack Betch and Dante Thornton. Mm-hmm. Next year, if you suck, and this quarterback class is so good that everyone likes to talk about, Jeremiah Smith could fall in your lap.
Yeah,
who is Gino's cousin, but
and that's the year you make the trade. That's the year you make maybe the trade for one too. Like if there's one out there like that, when Mendoza showed promise, you just don't do it right. I'm with you.
Yeah, 100%. You get the Matt Ryan comp, his Julio Jones comp, and the Kubiak Shanahan style offense that worked out pretty well.
I will say I'll take Rashid Shaheed though. I will just 100% will take him in free agency. Like just two burners on this team would be nice.
All right, what are your expectations? Year one for Kubiak, I think we give him year to develop these players, and the year after is when it counts, right?
I'm on the same page.
Yeah, I'm not. I've been saying this the whole offseason. I'm not concerned what their win and loss record is next year. I just got to see like a roster being built, and you guys will be great as a tape channel to show if they are losing games. Like, hey, but this actually looks pretty good. Yeah. You know, that's gonna help.
Did anyone watch the Mendoza interview? So funny. It really shows how charismatic he is. Which one?
Yeah, he's a self-aware nerd. I think people don't realize how self-aware he is. He's not a guy that's like, wait, do I sound like a nerd? No, he knows he does, and he's kind of plays into it, which I like. And he's also a psycho too, which I like. And that Josh Rosen was a nerd that played like a nerd, and Mendoza is a nerd that does not play like a nerd. So that's you can see it.
I think it was on it's that Sunday conversation. I think that's what they're talking about with
the Caleb Presley.
Caleb Presley.
That was funny
from Barstool. Yeah, those are pretty funny.
Those are very funny.
Who are the free agent offensive line you would go after?
David Edwards. I've been saying it. David Edwards and maybe Braden Smith, but David Edwards.
Offensive line, like the guy that I really like on the offensive line is Elijah Vera Tucker because he's young and he is good when he's on the field. Problem is he's not on the field very much. I think every year he's missed at least a few games, and had several injuries. Like this year he got injured, I think, in the beginning of training camp and didn't play the entire season. But he's the most intriguing guy for me that I think fits what the Raiders need, and is still young that I'd like to go after. It's just again, can you trust him to stay on the field? History says no. So someone bring up Tyler Linderbaum. That's another one I would look into.
That's a
Braden Smith
big one. Yeah. I also really like Cade Mays out of Carolina. I think he's going to be. He's not the top safety, so you don't have to pay the Linderbaum price. But I like Cade Mays a lot.
Yeah. I think you guys kind of nailed all the top guys. I mean, I like Elijah Vera Tucker. It's one. Maybe they could look at just because of the injury history and just hope you get lucky with that one. He doesn't get hurt.
Hey, prove it, yo. I like a prove it. Something like that. Just 2 years, kind of front loaded the first one. And if it's just it was a disaster, you cut it loose after a year. Yeah. It's fine to do that. That was an Al Davis special for many years just to do stuff like that. Yeah. And to great benefit, I think.
I also wouldn't mind bringing Jermaine Luminor back. Put him at right tackle.
Kind of right, man. Yeah,
he revived his career moving to right tackle. He's been solid.
Yeah, for sure. Josh Jones a free agent?
I don't think so. Is he?
I think he might be, but he's like a career long backup at this point because Abraham Lucas is their normal starter. Just Lucas can't stay healthy.
Yeah. When would be a Kubiak film breakdown? Probably do that pretty soon here. Probably.
I'm sure. I'm sure the
I
wheels.
feel like that's the Wednesday show, or should I wait? Should I wait, Matt? And Clint, I'm gonna wait.
No, I think I was gonna talk to you about it. We should probably just do Klint Kubiak instead. We can take a break from the draft stuff and get
Okay. All right. Any
it's
concern?
not your guys' fault if he backs out, guys. It's not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any concern about Genty being a good fit for wide zone?
No.
You don't think so? I mean, he got better at it to end the year, but I think he'll do well, and I think maybe Kubiak will switch it up a little bit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like he's gonna tailor. I think he's gonna look at what he has and go, "Here's how I make this great."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they bring in like a Rams guy. Maybe they bring in
the
passing game coordinator, make him the OC, and then
she'll
bring that power game with it. So
yeah, I was gonna
think
say that's the one thing too, like about this, like the Shanahan tree in like the last few years, they've been running a ton more duo, like, and they've been they like switched philosophies a little bit where it's more power than it used to be. It's not strictly wide zone like the old Mike Shanahan and Joe Gibbs type of days.
All right, I just know the DJ with all these great questions. In your opinion, what determines an offensive head coach's selection in a DC?
Who's in their phone book?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you also think there's like I've had a tough time against this scheme? Like,
Probably.
Do you think there's any of that? Like sometimes maybe a guy you're not familiar with, but you're like, this guy kicks my ass, like, is there any of that?
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but I think it's more of a family thing with DCs. That's why you see Raheem Morris. He just went to the Niners. I mean, that's still in the family, right? You're still in the Gruden. He was Gruden's DC, I think, wasn't he? At that point, so it's going to be somebody he's close to, right? Like the Carl Scotts and anybody he worked with before. The scary one also that we talk about is Mike Zimmer itself.
No, don't even. Come on.
I think here's what I'll say. If you're Klint Kubiak, you don't have a connection to Mike Zimmer because the only reason why you got fired in Minnesota is because Mike Zimmer's defense sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah, I kind of wish Dennis Allen wasn't with the Bears right now because I actually think that would have been a sick guy to bring in because they coach with each other. I was kind of thinking, man, that was, I know the Bears defenses hasn't been like amazing, but they take the ball away a lot, and I thought that's not going to happen. Yeah, I think it's going to be Carl Scott personally. Like I think they're just going to do that, and unless. Because who is DC under Mike McDonald right now? Like the actual DC?
Let me look here.
Because you also could do that.
Aiden Durd.
No, okay.
That's what they're asking. People, I like people ask them.
Because you could do that too. Because you could like, hey, do you want to call the defense?
Yeah.
Like
you want to call the defense and we'll add assistant head coach or whatever to your
right. Exactly. That's something you think about too. So there's a lot of ways it can go. This Mike McDonald thing seems to be the way. This kind of Minter McDonald kind of Michigan thing that they brought into the NFL seems to be the hot defense right now. So I'd like to.
What's interesting about that too is Durd doesn't have like a connection or previous connection to McDonald that I can think of because Durd he's the British dude. He was coaching like the NFL Europe or whatever, and then. Kind of rose pretty quickly up the NFL ranks when he came over to the States.
Yeah.
He was with the Falcons and defensive quality control, I think, when Kubiak was there. And then Cowboys and then Seattle.
Do we consider Cousins the Falcons release him in the
Yes.
year?
Yeah, we do. I think we do. I think we do consider that. But also, is he going to do that again? I know maybe his days are over as a starter, but it's like he already got kind of. Especially, it won't surprise him like the Michael Penix pick did, but I know you're giving him a much less deal, but it's like I think he'd rather go to a place like the Colts or something where it's like, I might actually have a chance to like steal a starting job here, where you're just at the end of the day you're a placeholder here if you do that.
Yeah.
And the other thing to consider is Kirk Cousins he's like the ultimate bag man. Like if you go on like
I know
over the cap and just look at his career earnings, like he's made so much money. I feel like he's at the point where he's like, you know what, I'd rather retire than make whatever a few $1 million as a backup somewhere. Like he's getting off $100 million contract. So
does this even pay my heat bill at this point?
It's like what is that even worth it at this stage?
He always made me feel like he's a mega church guy. Like if he was a head pastor, he had a mega church.
Probably. I mean,
Get the suspensions and fly down from the rafters.
100%. Yeah. Hey, I would though. Like I really would. Like I'd think about it because if that's the way they want to go, it's quite clear they have familiarity. But again, I'm not exactly trying to spend a lot of money at that position. Like it's I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see you doing it, but I would just put money on O-line all day.
Yeah. Knowing how the run fits will be, do you see Raiders drafting or free agent signing for the O-line? I still think they're going to draft some guys, so both.
Both. Spytech loves linemen. And if you look at Tampa, the Jason Light drafts in Tampa, they draft linemen every year. They sign linemen every. I mean, it's just like I don't expect like super high picks on linemen. Maybe. I mean, I can't say never, but I think they're going to spend a lot of money on offensive line. Yeah. Like I think you just have to make sure that it's not a disaster. That does this year one. Like it always still can be, but you have to at least be like, well, I spent the money at the damn position at least.
Yeah. What do you guys think of the running back from Indiana, Black? Are there any home run speedy backs in the draft? I haven't really gotten a running back. Mike Washington is 228 pounds and he's a speed back for Arkansas.
Jadarian Price is fast.
and I wasn't even watching running backs. So I started talking to Matt about him at the Senior Bowl. Like, dude, look at this guy. He's a damn monster. And he's like running past linebackers in receiving drills and
the way he moves for how big he is weird. But speaking of Senior Bowl guys, the one guy I'm very interested after watching him at the Senior Bowl and catching my eye, and he'd be a late round guy or an undrafted free agent, Jaden Ott.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the old Cal guy who transferred to the bad part of the transfer portal was
he transferred to Oklahoma and rode the bench. So he's a guy that could be under the radar that you don't have to spend a high pick on,
right?
And maybe not even a pick at all, and get a guy who, to me, like really caught my eye and could end up being a good back.
Yeah, had a good day at the game too. Who will be their possession receiver? Free agent, draft, already on the team.
Jack Besh.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to try. You have to try. You have to see.
I think Besh is maybe because I was high on him coming out, but I still think Besh is a good player. I think he still has a chance to grow. You just need to give him a chance. He was getting open, and that's all I need to see.
He catches the ball.
Yeah, he catches the ball, he gets open, and that's going to get better.
Do you think this is a good fit for him, this scheme? Like, do you think it's a good fit? Like, how they were using Cooper Kupp this year, but you have kind of fresher legs at that position, maybe?
I think they're going to use him really well. I think they're going to start using him like how they should, which is just moving him around a little bit, get him on some choice routes, and then, get him up the seam and stuff like that. Yeah. Because he basically, a lot of people say he's like a tight end, but he is kind of, because he blocks like one.
He was originally a tight end at LSU.
Yeah, he's like 200. He's a big dude. That's why you play him inside. You move him around.
Still mad about that holding call in Denver where he dominated that guy on the Genty run. Again, that might have won us that game, so I'm glad it didn't happen. But I was pissed they threw a flag there.
Yeah. Super bringing up Mr. Trubisky. I don't know.
We're not, guys. We're still celebrating a fun hire. Let's not. Don't bring Mitch Trubisky in here.
Can Charles Grant play right tackle? We don't know.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at him playing right tackle. Maybe they did. Maybe last training camp, but I just don't trust anything from that coaching staff last year. After that article came out about Brandon Carroll and Kelly and all these guys, I don't trust anything. Wiping the slate clean on almost every person that was on the team last year.
Somebody said move Palom out of free strong safety. Just move him to the bench. Move him
as just get rid of him.
Special teams. He said, Matt just said just get rid of him.
He turns the ball over. I like that he could take the ball away. I special teams and turn the ball over. Safety 4. It's fine.
Yeah, they are paying him pretty high. Be safety for it, not gonna lie. What we focus on the draft besides the quarterback? I mean, I think defense.
I want defense all day. That doesn't change my mind. Yes, you want linemen, but the offensive line's young right now, minus Colton Miller. So yeah, I would sign. I would throw the bag at a few of the top free agent linemen, O-linemen. See what you can get like day 2 on some interior linemen or something, maybe. But for me, at the top of the second round, I really want to get just a big fat nose tackle, for this team. We need it bad.
Yeah, because I keep calling Lee Hunter Lee Harvey.
You do keep calling. Actually, I think we should just keep it that way.
Redraft. what we take it in our second round. I probably
Nose tackle.
yeah, or defensive end if they go like maybe like
Yeah, I mean,
you
Lee
talk
Hunter
about
would be
defensive
sick,
ends a
but
little bit.
apparently he's like a first round pick now.
Yeah, we'll see though. We'll see how the NFL actually if they really does that.
Yeah.
You know, I with
I don't
DT
think
safeties.
I don't think he's going first round.
And DT safeties and linebackers, we could just kind of just ignore mock drafts a little bit.
Yeah.
But they're so random with that. I mean, Caleb Downs might fall to 16 or something stupid. You know what I mean?
It's what people are already saying. They're going to fall out of the top 10. Sonny Styles and which Styles I don't think ever really was a top 10 pick, just because it just didn't seem that way. But yeah, I mean, you just never know. There's always that guy where you're like, how is this guy still here? You know, and what a couple of years ago it was Jackson Powers Johnson. We were like, wow, how is this guy still here? Yeah.
Sonny Styles has top 10 tape, so I don't know.
I just don't think I think a lot of these teams that are picking top 10, they don't pick middle linebackers that often. Like it's just not really like your team's like bad. So you typically don't do that.
That's true.
So I mean, again, team like the Rams have a 13th overall pick. They might go do that, you know.
Yeah. Also,
any players? My bad. Man. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say also like you got to factor in like this is the draft that's like kind of turns everything on its head where like the high value players at high value positions aren't quite there, so that's I think can push some guys up that we wouldn't normally see, or some positions at least.
Yeah. Sean talked about taking corner too. I mean, I agree. If they go corner, that wouldn't bother me there either.
I mean, Chris Johnson, that's my favorite player. So yeah.
Any players worth trading back in for one?
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be some of the guys you just named. Like if Sonny Styles falls,
yeah.
Yes, you know what I mean. Somebody asked about if they took a wide receiver second. I mean, like if Jordan Tyson or something, they don't like his injuries and he falls.
Yeah, it have to be something crazy like that. Yeah,
Then I would take that. That's when I would take a wide receiver at that spot of 36, and I mean, you know, but he would have to fall to like 25 or something like that, which is a possibility. You know, which is crazy.
Hey, if Ruben Bain starts sliding because of those short arms or whatever, if that ends up being legit, like that's a guy worth trading back.
But into existence.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like it.
I don't think there's a guy like kind of where I'm hitting at that. So I don't think like I know people have asked before about like the Texas situations where they got CJ Stroud traded back up into the top 3 to get Will Anderson Jr. There's just not a guy like that in this draft class that I think you do that, because the Texans gave up quite a bit to get Will Anderson Jr. and obviously that worked out, but I don't think there is that guy of that caliber in this draft class. So it would have to be more of like oh crap, this guy's sliding. We didn't think this guy would be here available in the teens or whatever that you trade back in for.
I think Taddy 707 in there said it, and I kind of agree here. I think I want as many top 120. I want to get inside the top 20 as often as I can, to where I come up from they have 3 4th round picks. Turn one of those into a 3rd round pick.
Yeah,
an extra 3rd round. See if you could package 2 of those, go get a 3rd, and you know, something like that, and get an extra 3rd round pick. See if you can get inside the top 100 one more time, and that's when you start. That's maybe when you try to go get a lineman there, or maybe a receiver or something. And while you're still not using your other picks prior on those positions, because I've never really been a fan of this line of thinking, but the Raiders always get hated on for using picks on luxury positions, these like top picks on, you know, tight end, running back, and stuff like that. They kind of have, though. So now I think they need to pick some of the more boring positions, like not that like corner is boring or something, but like the, you know, nose tackle, something like that. But you know, they also need edges, and those can be fun. But I want to get into the top 100 as much as I often can this year, and just kind of see if you can be a little more aggressive. They traded back a lot last year. Let's trade up a little this
year. Wanda Robinson, is he a free agent?
Yep.
They got a lot of small guys. They have a lot of. I feel like they have that.
JPJ to guard, and somebody asked the question: Is JPJ too thick to play in the zone scheme? No, this is perfect for him.
He's a great athlete, so I mean, he can.
He did it in Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's perfect for this scheme. So is Iheanacho.
Did you watch him in the Senior Bowl, Marcus? He was wrecking fools in the running game. He got a couple pancakes in there. He had a pretty good week overall.
He can play in the zone. He's a perfect fit for that. He's got the athleticism for it. Is it possible to try and get Jay Harbaugh from the Seahawks? He is a McDonald, but he has the Seahawks as number 2 special teams. It's worth a try.
So is he the special teams coach right now?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's going to be kind of tough because you're not going to make him assistant head coach. We've already tried to give that label to like 3 other people from the Seahawks already, and you're not going to do it there.
The Raiders are just going to have 10 assistant head coaches by the time we're done with this episode.
Yeah, second assistant head coach. They're going to create new positions. Yeah.
I also don't know if he's going to want to compete against his dad twice a year.
Yeah. Also, why didn't the Harbaugh family want him?
I think he wanted to break away because he was at Michigan.
Gotcha. Okay. I was like, that was always my thing. Like, wait, they didn't want him. Like, that was strange.
Yeah. He's bringing the offensive line coach with him. I mean, do they have contracts that he can't do that? Because I mean, those guys did get fired when he did that. You know what I mean?
You have to. You just. I think it can't be complete lateral to lateral. But I don't know what their contracts are. But I think since they all just came with Kubiak last year, you can't imagine that these guys were all on 1-year deals.
I think you can. I mean, you can get out of your contracts and whatnot, but the Seahawks have to approve an interview. I think. I don't know.
If
they approve the interview, then you can.
I would tell you to go fuck yourself, probably. But they have to bring in a new coordinator who might not want those guys. So it's kind of a ripple effect. Like you could say you're not going to bring in a coordinator and be like, this is what the Raiders did last year. Is you got to use my son as offensive line coach, and Chip Kelly, and then we saw the disaster that is. So it's true. They might be available.
Yeah. Somebody asked about spilling running backs. I don't know who the free agent running backs are, but
it was
Kenneth Walker's a free agent. Kenneth Walker's a free agent.
That would cause a storm.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
I mean, it would, but save Genty a little bit, so have somebody split the carries.
Chris Rodriguez. I like Chris Rodriguez. Chris Rodriguez is a free agent. I think that's a good under the radar.
Rico Dowdle.
He wants a bag. He's gonna want the bag for sure.
Yeah, because he took a prove it contract and proved it.
Yeah, he's gonna like somebody like a
28. He's a 28-year-old running back. How much bag could he really get?
Is James Conner a free agent?
I don't think so.
I wanted him last year. I was like, man, give me my 1 year of James Conner as a 10 carry a game guy.
Like, how much bag can he really get, man? He's stretching it trying to get a bag, in my opinion.
Oh, Tyler Algier. Gosh, if he found a way.
I mean, that's a good one.
Yeah. Oh, if you found a way.
Because he doesn't want to be. Those are guys who don't want to be the man. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's true.
In this free agent class, we're spending big in. Not a lot of young talent worth big contracts. Linderbaum and Jalen Phillips, only 2 that come to mind and meet the age timeline.
I'm a quantity over quality free agent guy. I like filling spots. I like saying like, this is okay. We got a little bit better at this position. We got like when you make the big splash free agent thing, I feel like that's always got a little. I feel like that's always got a Sean Smith. You remember those? Like you're just like, oh man, we were so excited about those. And then it's like the random guy you brought in free agency. That's the good one a lot of times. And I think for me, the Raiders have a lot. They just need to get like a lot of depth and like starters, just like solid players on their team. So I don't know if I throw the bag at Jalen Phillips. Guy's a million concussions. He's a very good player, but Linderbaum, I would definitely try. Braden Smith, I would definitely try. But for the most part, like they need 3 linebackers.
Yeah.
Right now. Like
they do need 3 linebackers.
They might even need 4. You might argue they need 4. We'll see. But like it's just, and they need 2 safeties probably. They need what I mean is you might have to make some boring signings there with the large amount of money that you have.
Yeah, the way I kind of see free agencies will probably be like 1 or 2 big guys, and then like you said, Glenn, I think it's going to be a lot of like cheaper veterans that they're just trying to fill gaps in at that point.
Yeah, I mean, if the Jags don't franchise Devin Lloyd, which they probably will, he's out there, but I think
that'd be nice.
They'll probably franchise him though. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
All right, a couple more questions and we'll get out of here, guys. How about trading next year's second to get back into the second round and have 3 picks in the top 64?
Trading next year's second to get.
They're going to have to give up more than that.
No, you might be looking for a wide receiver with that pick next year.
Yeah, I don't know.
You might be. Yeah, I see. My thing is, I'm moving up from the 4th round. I'm moving up from the 5th round. That's what I'm doing. Especially because last year I hated Spytek's like 6th round picks, like Tommy Malott. Like I'm good, dude. I see what you try to do in the 6th round with your weird picks. Let's move up.
There's a lot of trade rumors around Chris Olave the last 2 seasons. Do you think they make a move on him? Can't imagine it with a lot this injury history. He has ties to Kubiak.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Garrett Wilson. I know they have no connection, but I'd rather trade for Garrett Wilson.
Yeah,
Olave would probably be cheaper though because Wilson's signed that extension.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Thoughts on Minnesota tackle? Which one? What you talking about?
O'Neal, I'm assuming, or are they
I
talking?
think it's about I think he's Minnesota. Like,
like the school.
yeah.
I
He's at the senior. I know he's talking about. I just don't remember his name.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know.
People are talking about bringing Zamir White back. Please, can you free me from this? Can you free me from this at some point? Like, man.
All right, I'm trying to get blasted. So, where do you think Hunter's draft range?
I think it's lower. I think it's lower than people think.
I think it'd probably be end of first, beginning of second. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get past 36. So I think that would be a great pickup for the Raiders, but I think probably late first, second, because he is getting some first round love from a guy like Daniel Jeremiah, who usually has pretty good ears on the ground when it comes to knowing what the league wants to do.
Yeah. Manifesting a fourth for DJ Moore, Pittman, or Michael Wilson. Good fit. I mean, I don't like DJ Moore that much.
Pittman.
I mean, Moore is good, but I just don't think he's like.
You want a guy that's known for quitting on routes?
Yeah.
Pittman's pretty sick though. I mean, yeah, you could talk me into that. Fourth round. I don't know if this fourth round pick gets that done though.
Pittman's okay too, but he's Jack Best. So like, why would you trade?
Someone say wide receiver 1 and Christian Kirk in the same sentence. I guess it's technically 2 sentences.
I mean, yeah, Christian Kirk's not wide receiver 1.
Mike Evans for a year, I'd do it for 1 year. He gets hurt all the time, but I'd do a year. I'd be like, whatever, light the money on fire for a year, and if he gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Has Kubiak ever coached a team without having a wide receiver 1? Probably not, because he did.
Put some respect on Brock Bowers' name.
Yeah,
the Saints.
Yeah,
the Saints. With Olave being injured as often he is, and he wasn't really a wide receiver 1 last year.
Yeah. Give me reasons why you wouldn't have Mendoza such a year, because he's a beast, and also think he's a senior and he's older. I think there's a chance he starts week 1. He beat out whoever we're talking about. I kind of believe he starts week 1. I know some people don't think it is, but just knowing him and the type of person he is,
I wouldn't say it won't happen. I wouldn't hate it if I would not mind at all if they just kept him on the bench for the first few weeks of the season, first couple months maybe.
Yeah. Who's a really good return guy for us? Kevin Coleman. Oh, that too.
Shaheed. That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. An all-pro returner twice, I think.
That is a great one.
Why man, I'm getting hated on for Mike Evans for 1 year. My goodness.
What is the next mock draft you guys are doing? We'll probably do it. Combine, probably. Yeah. And I think that's it. No. But yeah, Rashid Shaheed. I just like Kevin Coleman. I just want to give him a shout out. He had a good week. So, you know what I mean? All right, guys. We had 1,500 in here today.
Of course, man. It's exciting.
Yeah, man. It's exciting. I really appreciate all you guys coming in and joining us. We're excited. We got a head coach. I got something to do. I got some exciting film to break down. I get to watch some NFL film again. And, we're out here going to get you ready for Klint Kubiak, man.
Exciting.
I can't wait.
Exciting moment.
I have to say, when the news broke, I was like, just started jumping up and down. My wife goes, "Matt, what's going on?" I ran down the stairs and just showed her my phone.
Yeah. And then my wife my wife's like, "What are you so happy about?" And then I started explaining. She's like, "Why did I ask? I don't give a shit." Yeah.
They always ask, like, "Why are you so happy?" And then when it's time to answer.
All right, it's not the new season of Bridgerton, but yeah.
It's not Bridgerton season 4.
Yeah, it's just as exciting. Trust me.
Yeah, she needs that medieval softcore porn.
Sorry to interrupt your 4th rewatching of Gilmore Girls.
Yeah. Straight up.
All right, guys. We're out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Peace.